So every Pride Month, pretty much the homophobia kind of has been getting worse, and it just still shows me that this is why we need Pride Month. And like, I keep getting like homophobic comments and stuff, and like people being like, "Oh, you don't need Pride because blah blah blah," or like, "Oh, well, there's so many other groups that also have dealt with like genocide and stuff, like you're just being paranoid or whatever." It's just like, just because other groups have gone through it, just like that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be fighting for rights and safety. And you know, I also try to, you know, help in ways that I can for people who are also other groups of people who are also going through like horrible things, like the whole genocide and everything, and like people getting killed for just existing and whatever. Like, I try to help in ways that I can to stop that too. So it's like, I'm not just here being like, oh, gay people are dying, we need to save them. I'm also trying to be like, hey, other groups are also going through this too. We should help them and whatever. Like, you know, like, just because other groups are also going through it doesn't mean that we shouldn't talk about it and try to raise awareness and stop the killing and everything. Like, bruh. And, people using religion to hate whatever certain groups, like, I talked about it in my Why We Need Pride Month video, and like, people use religion to hate LGBT people, but people also use religion to hate other people, and so I kind of speak about against that too. And yeah, like, I don't get why people are like, oh, other people go through it, so it's fine. Like, no, it's not fine. I will speak about LGBT people going through horrible things, but I will also speak about other groups going through horrible things and hopefully try to stop that and raise awareness of these horrible things happening, so then we can try to have better life for people and have better a better world. And then people wouldn't have to suffer so much. People shouldn't have to suffer for their gender or their sexuality or their skin color or whatever. Like, we can't control those things. We can't choose those things. So it's like, why should we be discriminated against for those things? Like, if you're a woman or you're gay or trans or black or whatever, like, you shouldn't be discriminated against for those things. Like, there's no logical reason to hurt people for those reasons, for those things. So it's like, why why shouldn't we speak against it? Why shouldn't we talk about it and like try to raise awareness and help people? Like, people shouldn't be mistreated for these things. So it's just like, trying to use that as an excuse to like bash Pride Month or whatever. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, people shouldn't be suffering their for just existing, for loving who they love, or just being whatever gender or whatever skin color and stuff. Like, you know, I don't get why people are just like, oh, well, other people have dealt with this too, and like, oh, it's all in the past. And it's like, it's not actually all in the past, because people still deal with sexism and homophobia and transphobia and racism and stuff. Like, that stuff is still happening. People are still being killed for just being gay and being women or being someone of color. Like, people target specific marginalized groups. And like, also, like, women take up like half the population, and so it's just like, there's so much crap against a group of people who is like basically half the population, and it's just like, how can you like hate every single woman on the planet when it's like pretty much half the world, Like, I just, I don't, like, what? Like, I don't know. It's fucking weird. Um, But yeah, I don't fucking get how people can be like, oh, it's fine. Everyone goes through horrible things. And it's just like, no, we shouldn't want that. That shouldn't be a normal thing. People shouldn't be suffering. People shouldn't have to fucking deal with people being shitty and horrible to them just for who they are. You know, we don't choose these things. We don't like, why should we be targeted just for existing? Like, I don't, like, it's not just past whatever. Like, you know, we can talk about, like, Stonewall riots and, like, how Pride really, like, started and everything, and then, like, all of the people who have been murdered for being trans and stuff. But, like, it's still fucking happening. It's still a thing today. People are still being like targeted for just existing as gay or trans or whatever. Like, I just, I don't get how you can be like, oh, it's all in the past when people are still being murdered and targeted for just existing. Like, I see this shit happening today still. Like, I don't know, like every once in a while I'll see something about like, oh, this person was targeted for being trans, or this person was targeted for being black or whatever. And it's just like, it's not just a today or a past thing, it is also today. Like, it's past and present still. Like, like, I don't get how people can ignore people being targeted for just, you know, existing. Like, this is why we need Pride Month, and then you ignore it, and then it's just another thing of why we need Pride Month. Like, you're trying to make excuses and you're trying to ignore the horrible things happening, and that's why we have Pride Month still, is because people like this still keep ignoring shit and making excuses and being homophobic and transphobic and just like, you know, leaving horrible comments and leaving just like telling people to kill themselves because they're gay or something. Like, that's why we still have Pride Month, because homophobes keep fucking saying this stupid shit. And it's just like, this is why we still have Pride Month, because you keep saying horrible things and you keep targeting people for just being who they are. And like, we're not gonna stop having Pride Month if you don't stop doing that. Like, we're still gonna keep going if you still keep going with your bullshit. So, have fun seeing rainbows every June because you won't stop being a piece of shit. Like, I don't get it. Like, homophobes are so mad that Pride Month happens every year, and then it's just like, well, if you just stopped targeting us, we wouldn't have Pride Month. Like, if you stopped mistreating us for just existing, then we wouldn't have Pride Month. So, I don't know. It's just fucking weird. Like, stop being hateful and we won't need Pride Month, you know? Like, it's not that hard to just let us live and exist and be who we are. Like, I literally just want to live my life, and then I keep getting shitty things. Like, I could just like talk about, like, I could just like mention that I'm gay in a video and someone's like, "Oh my God, I hope God saves you." And it's just like, what? Like, all I did was mention that I'm gay in a one-off thing in the video, and then you're going off about how God needs to save me? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. It's so weird. Like, I don't even have to really do anything. I just exist, and then people are just like, you're horrible and you need to die. And it's just like, this is exactly why we have Pride Month. Because all I could do is like mention that I'm gay or trans, and then people are just like, oh my God, you're a horrible person. And it's like, why are you confused that we have Pride Month if you are also being hateful and horrible to me? Like, that makes no fucking sense. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about this because each hate comment I get just makes me be like, hey, this is why we have Pride Month. And this just makes me also want to talk about this stuff more and more and why it's so important to me that we have Pride Month and why we speak out about this stuff is because there's just so much stupid bullshit from certain people, and it's just like, this is exactly why we have Pride Month. This is exactly why we need this. So I don't get why everyone's so like upset about this when it's like this is exactly why we have Pride Month. Like, do you not see how this all kind of goes together of like you being a shitty person? This is still why we have Pride Month. Like, I don't know. Hopefully I kind of explained it good enough. I don't know. Because apparently I can't say anything right, so I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, I guess that'll be it though for this video, so bye.